welcome to the ice. We have Dieppe for their second game of the day, and we have Lancaster Kings. Called them Thunder earlier, my apologies. We'd like to say a few words. Haley, we're thinking about you. Haley battling cancer, and kudos to the team for all the pink you're wearing tonight. Sorry, guys. Have a great game, folks.
And getting ready for our second last game of the night. It's Group B action. It's Dieppe and Lancaster. Dieppe is 1-0-1. Lancaster is 2-0. So this game important for both teams, battling for either to get into the playoffs or that higher seed. Linesman pick at the net at the Dieppe side. Or Patrick Allward is currently in the net. And our starting goalies, Lancaster, had went with Corey Winter this morning. They go back to Jake McCarthy today. And Dieppe doesn't really have much of a choice. Patrick Allward goes back for his third game. As they still look at Dieppe's net, we get ready to face off. And our final game tonight, after this one, wrapping up day 2, will be Tracadie Sheeta taking on Tri-County. Tri-County, the same record with Dieppe, 1-0-1. Lancaster's 2-0. Some heavy playoff implications. And here we go, finally ready for puck drop. Taking it one by Dieppe. Daigle tried to shove it along, and we're for Cormier. And apologies, Lancaster's 1-1. Tri-County is 1-0-1. There's still some heavy playoff implications for both of these teams. Lancaster needs a win. If they do get a win, they may knock out Dieppe. Trying to shoot it back in was McGivry. It's loose and taken back. Johnson stepping into the zone. Hits the brakes. Waits for reinforcements. Chucks it down deeper into the zone. And here comes Lancaster. Hosford stepping in along the left. Waiting, trying to send it in front, and that one just misses the stick of LeBlanc. Another shot that had gone just through the crease. Dieppe now regathering. It's Johnson. Gonna send it cross ice. All the way down, giving his team a chance to get some changes off without icing it. McNutt giving it away. Here's Ebel trying to send that one out. Or for Duguay will go to Leblanc. He'll slap shot it back into the zone. Behind his net now goes Kelly. Sends one across. Over for Downey. That's Sear rather going up and seeing Out comes the puck to center. Moving back and back skating is McDonald. Going across a little bump from Sebastien Roy. Stepping in, Sear with the blast. And that one just goes wide of the net. Held in by Lancaster. It skips behind the net. Rimmed across just outside the corner. Eagles now get outside the zone. Olivier Duguay shooting in the corner. Skating there. Trying to get with speed is Underhill. Rimmed around the boards. Knows McCulvery and Levesque going after it. Won by Levesque. Big collision. Underhill falling into Sebastien Roy. Eagles walk out and shoot. And a good save made by McCarthy. That was Jolet Roy, a guy that you never want to leave in the slot wide open with a shot because he's got some power behind it. And Lancaster will ice it, and that's our first whistle of the game. Lancaster quickly getting outside their zone. Tristan Daigle turning around and firing it towards the boards. Brought in by Nicolas Ebel. It'll go to McCarthy, who stomps it and leaves that off for McDonald. McDonald rimming it across the boards. Daigle will find it out at center. Bank it off the wall. Marcus Ebel stepping into the zone. Waiting, trying to go across off the feet of Roy. Turning around and shooting, and that one blocked by a skate. It's Daigle into the zone. That's Ebel, rather. But climbed up towards the wall and shot it back in. Underhill stepping out for the Kings across the red line. Andrews in offside. Or at least thought he was. Daigle going around the net with coverage from Underhill. They both go crashing into the boards. Will be relieved from Dieppe. Pass out over to Nicolas Ebel. Potential 2-on-1 with Eric Johnson. Here's Johnson with the pass. And it just is out of his reach. Will be taken away by Kelly. Rimmed along the boards. That one taken up by Graves. Through the middle, that was ever so close to being too many men. Now moving back up, McGivry. Graves now walking up towards the net line. Cutting to the middle, he's going to try a shot on Allward and misses the net. McGivry waiting again, trying to center that one out. Moving towards the line and outside, it'll go for Babin. Babin for Legacy. It goes down and around McNutt. It swerves the corner. It's Hosford leaving that one up for Graves. Graves up on LeBlanc. The shot scores! And that's one that Allward's going to want back. And it's Garrett Graves. He had one this morning. Walks in with a shot. Takes a weird hop off Allward and into the net. And Lancaster goes up 1-0. Just less than 4 minutes into this game. So it's going to be Graves from McGivry at 11:03 of the first period. Lancaster moving in. It's Hosford entering the zone just barely offside at 10:48 of period one. Moving it out of the zone, Duguay going up against the boards here with McNutt. Duguay, side of the net, around the net, trying to wrap around on his backhand, taken away by Kelly. Over to McGivry, who shoots it out of the zone. He'll bank off the boards, waiting. There's Levesque. Going to pass it to the middle over for Duguay. That flips high and will go back to Kelly of the Kings. DDD pass over for McNutt. McNutt sees Hosford along the left on the blue line, trying to pass it through center, blocked by the boot of Duguay. Trying to step in was Johnson. Now sent back to Hosford. To the middle, Duguay leaves it off for Legacy. Duguay now entering the zone with it. And a cross-ice pass that's intercepted by the backhand of Hosford. Hosford passed through the middle, deflected by Sear. Will now go on the tape of LeBlanc. Moving back, Hosford stepping in with the shot turned away by the pad. Rebound, another save by Patrick Allward. Out in the middle, it's Underhill. Going across from McDonald on the left side. On the near boards, it's Sear. Moving up after getting the pass, sending it by Levesque. It will now go across over from McClary. McClary to the blue line, deflected on the way there. Now Downey in the corner, waiting. Will flip it. It'll go towards behind the net, over for Sear. Sear battling with Levesque before it's brought outside the zone. Sent across, back to the Lancaster defensive zone for McDonald. Rimmed around Underhill. Waiting the face-off dot. Will throw it all the way across to Downey in the neutral zone. To the middle, it's Sear trying to work his way in, and Dieppe will bring it right back out. Jean-Leroy stepping across mid-ice. Jean-Leroy with the shot. And accidentally tripped Underhill in the process. It shot out, and it looks like it hit something in the Lancaster bench. That's another stoppage of play, just less than 9 minutes. Left to play in period 1. And Dieppe with a strong game this morning, taking down Tracadie 8-1. And so did Lancaster. They took Tracadie down 9-0 just in our last game yesterday. So both of these teams evenly matched and both evenly need these very special 2 points. Marcus Hebert going up to the line. It's poked on against the back. Miguel Leblanc with a one-timer and caught by McCarthy. And Miguel Leblanc on defense. He's got a rocket with him. As for the one-timer, got it and fired it towards the net where it was gloved down by McCarthy. And here for Lancaster, it's quickly brought out by Court, stepping into the zone. Now it's brought back by Roy. He backhanded it against the wall, brought in. Drop pass from Hebert. Over to Nicolas Hebert. Back for Marcus Hebert behind the net. Going around, it's put behind the net by Kelly. Back for Kelly against the left boards. Goes cross ice. Now that's taken away by Babin off the stick of Lopman. Sent to the middle. Alex Leblanc. Flipped in, will go behind the net. McCarthy swinging in to pick it up is McNutt. Johnson skating past Andrews. Cuts back, curls around. Sits still in the corner. Looks for options. Tries to shove that out in front. Bouncing puck will be taken away by McNutt. Going behind the net against Babin. Rimmed around McGivry. I tried to send it to the other side. That went in between the feet of Johnson as he nearly stopped most of it. Tristan Daigle tried to pass that through the middle. Now it's taken away and brought in. McGivry walking the line. Then flipping it in to the Dieppe corner. Threw it in behind the net. Lancaster still with possession. It's loose out. A further shot from McGivry. Another save by Allward. Another try. And Allward making 2 fantastic saves as Lancaster has been applying most of the pressure so far in period 1. There's a quick shot. A save from Allward. McDonald at the blue line, waiting and shooting. And that one just off a leg and it goes behind the net. Waiting for behind the net, looking to pass that out in front is Greaves. The goal scorer so far for the Lancaster Kings. That one assisted by McGivry just earlier in this period. Loose out in front. It's right in the crease. And will be shot out into the middle. McDonald back skating and waiting for his options. Trying to see Graves, and that one's just out of his reach. It just slides under his stick. Now Dieppe clears the zone. Cleanly it's Roy. Passing across to Duguay just onside. Now taken away by Lancaster. Moving back with it is Hosford. He winds up for a drive and a save by Allward. Definitely wasn't expecting that. Had some force behind that one. Legacy leaving that for Duguay. Duguay walking in and he's offside. Quick draw, taken by Lancaster, and moved into the offensive zone, dropping Downey, trying to get a shot off. Now Dieppe quickly going back the other way. Marcus Hebert trying to put it through the legs of Brady Kelly. And Kelly blocks that. Now going back to the Lancaster end. McNutt around the boards for Kelly. Kelly near boards left side. Passed up for Downey at the blue line of the Lancaster zone. He walks the blue line, then passes that over to Sear. Now being intercepted in the middle. Bouncing around at the Lancaster blue line before being brought up and shot in to the zone of Les Aigles. Puck battling along the boards. Multiple players involved. Michael Leblanc involved for Dieppe. Trying to poke it in as Kelly. Dieppe bring it out. Eben will take the smart decision and chuck it into the zone. That one went right back to the crease after hitting the boards. Kings move it through center. It's Kelly. Skating from his own red line to the red line in the middle before passing it off. Lopman with the puck enters the zone, hits the brakes, now has it pickpocketed around. Johnson trying to make his way past court. Now it's taken by Levesque after it's squeezed out. Levesque move it in, tried to move it to his forehand to get around Andrews. Yep, still bringing it back in, trying to cut to the middle. Take it away, loose puck out in front, a save made by McCarthy off the pad. Move back, Levesque across and sent back for Cormier. Cormier trying to move in on Babin. Drop past the shot and deflected up and into the protective netting. And here's the chance earlier. And what a chance it was. In the Lancaster defensive zone with less than 5 to go. Babin off the draw, taken away. Now McGivry working up the captain, has Hosford with him on the rush. McGivry waits, passes across to Hosford, and he's behind the net. Hosford trying to look out in front. Taken away by Dieppe along the boards. Will be kept in by the Kings. Shoveled across, waiting. There's a shot tipped by Graves. Behind the net he is now. Trying to send that out in front. Kings still with it, banking off a couple boots. McGivry blocking a clear. Sent down for Hosford. Back from McGivry. Winds up for a one-timer. Scores! And off the deflection, it looks like it's Graves. Getting his second of the game. Garrett Graves on the deflection with the angle right in front here. Deflected off his stick and into the net. Lancaster makes it 2-0. Second goal from Garrett Graves in this game. His first one came at 11:03, assisted by McGivry, and he's going to be given another assist here. Hosford holds the line, steps in with a shot, and it's blocked and Rampling goes above the net. Just over 3.5 still. Eagles work it out of their zone. Legacy stepping in. Working in slow, trying a shot. That one just misses the net. Johnson throwing that out in front. That was blocked before it could get there. Still loose on the side of the net. It's McNutt going around and sending it to McGivry. McGivry not going to get it out. It's slapped back in from the line. And that'll be a save from McCarthy in the net. Face-off, tie-up. Kings managed to get it out of the zone. Eagles try to go right back in. It's intercepted off the leg of McGivry, and he works his way back in. Shows off a couple hands, then dumps it in. Levac goes cross-ice to see Legacy. His pass to the middle. That's Ibel sending that to Johnson. Now moving back is Hosford off the giveaway. Waiting, faking a shot, getting around the defense with a shot from Allward, and it goes under his pad. And that's lucky to not go in. Allward on the first goal, one that he very much could have had. with another one. Hosler just shooting it along the ice. It comes to a rest under his pad. Here's the face-off in the Dieppe zone to be taken by Aigles and Sear. Scratch that. Defenseman Michael Leblanc is going to come in to take the draw. Look by Lancaster. A shot from Sear. Didn't get much of it. That was deflected off a stick. Nicolas Aigles trying to step up out of the zone. Working a pass across to Roy. Trying to get past Downey. Still caught in a bit of circles. Now going to Marcus Hebert. Getting near to the end of the first period. Still no penalty calls so far into this game. Now trying to move outside of his zone. That was McClary. Now moving back, Sear. Finding it. That was debatably a stick up high as he continues to move down the zone. Sear waits. Now it's down in the corner and behind the net for LeBlanc. LeBlanc moves his way behind the net. Now continues up with speed. Mika LeBlanc still with it. Trying to get past one with the windmill D. Goes on net. Rebound. It was LeBlanc trying to pin up McDonald. Now Lancaster going back the other way. Sear and Downey. There's Sear with a shot with a save from Allward. And now it's cleared out to center ice where McDonald is placed. McDonald will throw it in on Allward, looking like he wasn't expecting it. Now in the corner. Leblanc tried to throw it over to Roy. He clears it all the way down, and this one's not going to go for icing. Underhill has to hurry. He has Babin right behind him. Circles it around. McDonald gonna misplay it. Now Babin going to apply some forecheck. Johnson picking off a pass, and now goes behind the net. Johnson going behind the net, waiting, backhanded out in front, and tried to hit Miles Babin. There's another shot. It's loose. A bit of a rainbow, a changeup rather. There's Johnson trying to put that out in front. Miles Babin had lost his stick. We'll go to the blue line. A big slap shot that goes on net. Again, Daigle's going to keep it in the zone before it squirts out. Yep, now regrouping outside. Levesque over for Johnson. Johnson waiting. Now it gets in the feet of Court. But luckily, Court had no idea where it was. Johnson continuing. Eric Johnson stepping in, trying to toe drag around his man. Now Lancaster going back in numbers. Let's quickly back, hand it in. Yep, it's Daigle now in his own end. Moving past center. Shooting it in, it'll go behind the net. Underhill. Now pressuring up. Daigle comes to the middle. Daigle the shot. It hits off the blocker of McCarthy. Another try. It's in the slot, but where it bounces to the blue line. Needs another shot. Coming with a shot. Saved by McCarthy as the clock gets to 1 second. And a weird play from Dieppe. They had emptied their net. And we've dropped the puck on period 2 here. Dieppe still down in a bit of a hole. They're down 2-0. There's a save from McCarthy. Wraparound attempt. Another pad save. Another shot. And another pad save from McCarthy. About 3 pad saves in the span of 4 seconds. Cross-ice pass perfectly from Hosford to McGivry. What a move to get around LeBlanc. McGivry still with it. And there's Mika LeBlanc in there for defense. Another shot. That one blocked. Kelly up against the wall. Getting that down. This time past LeBlanc on his second try. Behind the net. Waiting. Throwing that in front. Hosford digging for it. Jammed within Alex LeBlanc and Duguay. Here's a pass that was intended for Duguay. Skating back. McNutt. Across the boards, it'll go for Kelly. Shot back. It's McNutt. Waiting, looking for an option. Out waiting, Roy. Now turning it over to him. Jolin Roy waits, shoots off the pad of McCarthy, and waiting right there for the rebound was Aigles. Blue line, Daigle almost struggled to keep control. Roy, and it slid off his stick. Lancaster comes back the other way. Skating with speed. Graves looking for the hat trick, and he puts that out in front and more or less loses it. Roy passing over. Marcus Hebert stepping in. Just barely onside, or it's delayed offside. Moving back the other way. It's McClary. Working it in. Blocked by Dangle. Marcus Hebert tried to get that over for Jolin Roy. Pass across then to the middle. Picked off by Nicolas Hebert. Sent over for Roy. Shot in as Dieppe now tries to make some changes. Lancaster now with it. Cross-ice pass. It's McClary walking in and shooting, and that one blocked by Tristan Daigle. Working up, he passes up over to Ibal. Daigle over to Levesque. Levesque waits, goes to Daigle. Pass to the middle, picked up. Here come the Eagles in numbers, working around with it. Babin waits, fires, and caught by McCarthy, tracking it down the entire way there. Lancaster off the draw. Winning in, putting it off the wall. I tried to get that to Andrews. That one just went by and over to Alex Leblanc. Eric Johnson sent across. Legacy stepping into the zone. The shot saved by the stick of McCarthy. Waiting, a shot from Alex Leblanc. Tipped out in front by Johnson. And again, a good read by McCarthy in the net. Has played perfectly so far, stopping all the shots that have come his way. Eric Johnson now with it behind the net. Waiting, looking, going down low. Pass out in front, trying to get that one over for Cormier. And that one redirected. And now for Andrews, who tries to clear the zone. Blocked in by Alex Leblanc of Dieppe. Working back as Kelly will shoot all the way down the ice. Almost with perfect aim to get it on to Allward. But this will be icing charged against Lancaster. They're up 2-0. But it's been all Dieppe to start off this second period. It's McGivry. Quickly out of the zone, off the defensive zone draw, into the Dieppe defensive zone. Hosford trying to move his way past Sebastien Roy. Down Tristan Daigle. Waiting, throwing it through center, and this one may be on net to McCarthy. It will not be, and that's icing now against Dieppe. And again, an icing call against Dieppe. Face-off will come back towards them, and we'll try that one again. And there it is. Hosford finds the loose puck out in front and fires it in. So that's now a 3-0 lead in favor of Lancaster. But 11:03 of the second. It's Hosford that now joins the scoring. And he makes it 3-0 when Dieppe had finally gotten some of the momentum back. McGivry had tried to throw it through the middle. Michael Leblanc trying to spin around and find it. Again, gets pinned up against the boards. Still loose before it goes out over to Nicolas Hebert. Hebert waiting and trying to send it up the wall. Skating up, McGivry goes it across, and that one is just intercepted by Hosford. Going back, Kelly. Going back, Hosford with another try. This one saved by Allward. Quickly sent down. One linesman calls, no ice. McNutt to McGilvery, his outlet, then he goes to the middle. The pass from Graves on to Hosford. Hosford tried to bring it in. He was upended by Jonathan Cormier. Dieppe coming back with speed. It's Babin, he has Johnson with him. Babin with the shot, he fans on it with a good defensive play by Kelly, staying right on all times. Downey stepping in, trying to get past Daigle. A sharp angle shot misses the net, and potentially a too many men. Oh, that was close. Skating back is McDonald. Was fresh off the bench. There was about 7 Lancaster players on the ice at once, luckily not touching the puck. There's Downey with a shot, saved by Allward, and we'll have a whistle from there. A quick shot and another whistle. We'll read it up. We got less than 9. We got less than 10 to go in period 2. It would have been a very good game between Lancaster and Dieppe. Both have gone their chances. Lancaster so far has just done an incredible job at capitalizing on them when they can. And they also got McCarthy in the net that has been playing unreal today, making saves left and right, especially with the pad always being agile and ready. At the blue line, cleared in by Levesque. Going down, McDonald. Trying to clear it out, and had gone in the feet of Johnson. Now has some room as Johnson backs off. Sends a saucer pass. I tried to get that one over to McCalvary. Going back, Tristan Daigle hits the brakes. Stops, now looks up and sees some room. Skates it out, makes a saucer pass going over 1. Skating in, Babin trying to make it through 2 and is unable to get a shot off. Going around McDonald. Right behind him, Eric Johnson intercepting and lifting his stick, then being sent down. So we're going to have our first power play of the game going in favor of this Aigles. So it's going to be McDonald going to the box for Lancaster. Is Babin going to go to the box for Dieppe here? Thought Dieppe would have had a man advantage, but Babin's going to go to the box. We do have 2 Lancaster players in the box, so maybe we do have a Dieppe man advantage. And it looks like ref is directing a 5-on-4. And we will have a Dieppe power play after all. Here we go, quickly off this draw. It's the first power play of the game.
Number 12, King McDonald.
So McDonald has the 2 for a trip. And it looks like Sear's in there as well. Maybe Sear and Babin getting offsetting penalties behind the net. McNutt being chased by Duguay. Getting the stick lifted, but is able to shoot it out and over the head of Alex Leblanc. Behind the net, Dieppe still with it. An outlet pass, Legacy. Working his way up, trying to get into the zone. Duguay trying to stay onside and just couldn't get the leg back in time. Dieppe trying to move into the zone. It's a Bear leaving that off for a Bear. Marcus Bear going around, trying to get around McNutt. Successfully does. Looks up to the blue line, then fakes and leads a soft dish off. Marcus Bear in the high slot with a shot. That one's blocked out in front by McNutt, sliding on one knee. Now McNutt ends up clearing it out of the zone. Incredible penalty killing from that man right there. Levesque stumbles and blows a tire. Now up against the wall. McGivry throwing it out. Graves waits, and that's a smart heads-up play on the penalty kill to go back to your own end and kill a couple more seconds off. Dieppe getting out of their own zone. Marcus Bear to Nicolas Bear. Moving through center, the pass is picked off and will be cleared right back to the zone of Dieppe. So far, unsuccessful penalty kill. Here's Dagle. Working through center. Goes up into the cage of Graves. A clearing attempt blocked. Graves again going to try once more, and this time get it out. Garrett Graves skating up with speed, trying to cut to the middle. One hand on his stick going around the net. Pressure from Levesque. They've got about 4 players on him, and he's too fast. No, still no one can catch him as now the penalty expires. And that has been a very solid penalty kill so far. Eric Johnson resetting. Still in his own zone to Levesque. Passing over for Tristan Daigle. Waiting and tried to pass that out. His pass deflected off his stick. Now he's on one knee. Johnson, pass to the middle. Here's Comey with a shot saved. The rebound is also deflected wide and into the corner. Eric Johnson still working his way around the net. Poke check attempt by Hosford. He goes up to the line, almost gives away to Andrews, and now Andrews will take the puck and ice it. Face-off will go back to the Lancaster end. Less than 6 to go. Dieppe still scoreless in this game, but I've had plenty of chances. And I've just come up a bit short with McCarthy in the net. There's LeBlanc almost giving up to Andrews. Eric Johnson stepping it back for Dieppe. Into the zone, has Roll with him. Johnson curling back, waiting, then going more towards the blue line. Doing that exact same dangle again. This time it's going to go up against the boards and be cleared back in by Jonathan Cormier. Behind it's McNutt. Trying to send that around. Sebastien Roy throwing that out in front. Still loose between a couple feet. Now goes to the line. Alex Leblanc waiting. Shooting. Deflected. Scores! And Dieppe now has their first goal. A shot from the line from Alex Leblanc. And it looks like he's going to be credited with that goal. He just tries a shot from the line. It's deflected off a Lancaster defenseman and into the net. So Alex Leblanc has gotten Dieppe on the board here in this one. It's now 3-1 with just over 5 left to go in period 2. Lancaster clearing up to the Dieppe defense, stepping back in. Mika Leblanc trying to drop it off. Now finds himself in the corner. Turning and now gives it up. This one's going to be shot past Sebastien Roy. This one not going to go for icing. Alex Leblanc, most recent goal scorer. Trying to move it away, turns it over, takes down Downey, and he's now going to go to the box afterwards. Sear throwing that out in front, and that is going to be our first Dieppe penalty kill coming up. And just getting those two hands on the stick, that's definitely going to get called a cross-check. So at 4:31, Lancaster gets their first power play opportunity of the game. That Dieppe goal, it's Alex Leblanc, assisted by Eric Johnson at 5:05 of period 2. One at the line, Underhill, sent down Downey. Going deep into the zone, Levesque pressuring him, then they try to go back door. That one going in between the feet of McClary. And we'll give a chance for Dieppe to send it all the way down the ice. Now applying pressure, shorthanded here. I believe that was Jiggy. But it had it shorthanded, forcing Lancaster to clear. So defensive zones face off for Lancaster on a power play. But they get it out quickly. It's McNutt up for McGivry. Working in, stops at the ringette line, and will throw it in the opposite corner along the wall. Graves behind the net, looking at it front. Graves trying to find the rebound in the loose puck. Sent out now. It's going to be Marcus Abair trying to take the puck. It's McGivry across, one-timer, a save by Allward on the shot from Hosford, and now this will clear the zone. So Kelly going over to McNutt. McNutt stepping in. Takes a second, stops, looks towards the line, waiting and shooting, and a nice save made by Allward once more. This one shot out, it'll hit the glass, and a good penalty kill started here by Dieppe. McGivry being chased by Marcus Abair. Going to turn around and then send it over to Kelly. He leaves that off for Hosford. About 30 seconds still to go on the Alex LeBlanc penalty. Skating up, McNutt waiting, looking, passing to the blue line. Kelly, he waits, goes across. McGivry goes across again. The shot saved by Allward on a shot from McNutt. What a play. And what a passing play constructed by Lancaster. A nice little tic-tac-toe. Then getting it back door where no red sweaters are. And that equals a shot on net. McGivry waiting, going to the line. There's a shot. McGivry turning over. It's now Babin. Penalty now done. LeBlanc is now out of the box. McNutt down below the net. Waiting, looking out in front. There was Rossford. They battle for the puck deep in the Dieppe end of the blue line. McNutt with a shot. Redirected by Hosford, but not on net. Roy is going to clear it all the way down. This one does not have enough for icing. Chasing on it is Johnson. It's Kelly. Going to move it around the net. Over for McNutt. Back for Kelly. He's hit by Dugie. It now goes over to Court. What looked to have been hit, but maybe just a slip and fall from a Dieppe player, Comier. Putting it in the zone, McNutt. Off the boards, getting that by Andrews, and now back for Jonathan Comier. Waiting, passing that up through Jean Roy over for Duguay. Duguay in. Roy steps into a shot, and it's gloved down by McCarthy. There's a shot, they score, or they don't. I thought they did, but what a save from McCarthy. Quickly. Just less than 1:30. Ball with a shot. Turned away by McCarthy. That one making it look a bit easy. A quick face off, that quick shot that ends up wide. Daigle trying to keep it in the zone. Working around. Sebastien Roy going into the corner with pressure from Underhill. Underhill now shooting it past Johnson. Lancaster will now get it outside the zone. Moving into the last minute of play. It's cleared in by Sear. That'll be behind the net of Allward. Daigle moving it across the wall. He now rolls up with speed. Tristan Daigle working in. Slaps it off of Underhill. That goes high in the air. That looked to trip him up. Jiggy. That was going against McDonald. Daigle walking in with the shot. It's deflected high and onto the goalie. But it's McCarthy again making the save. Daigle trying to hold the line. It gets out. It's brought back by McCleary. McCleary, that one to be rimmed along the boards. Yep, now to bring it out. Shot in by Jiggy. And then the Eagles will now make a bunch of changes as we get to the last 20 seconds. There's a stretch pass, trying to get that one over for Sear. Sear walked it in, trying to hit the brakes, and it's now Alex Leblanc that takes possession. It'll go it in front. Sent high in the air, ramping off a stick. Underhill unable to grab it, and in trying to take it. And that will be our second period, so still a 2-goal deficit. And we'll be back after the quick 10-minute flood. And it's Lancaster 3, Dieppe 1 here on Maritime Stream Team. The goals in this period started off with Ryan Hosford of the Thunder, of the Kings rather. And then most recently, Alex Leblanc assisted by Eric Johnson for Dieppe. And that has been our second period, 3-1 Lancaster after 2. Stick around on Maritime Stream Team. Now it's set to get underway for Game 3 of Day 1 of the HND U18C Provincials being streamed all day on MST, and it's the Aigles de Dieppe against the Tri-County River Cats. River Cats have sent Tommy Carter out between the pipes, and Patrick Allward is defending. And a quick start to period 2. Here we go. It's Lancaster with possession. Hosford trying to cross that over to the other side. Potential giveaway and an offside. Yep, still down by 2 goals. This game could potentially be the make or break of the tournament, whether they make the semifinals or not. A definite must-needed win. Rolling back behind the net, Kelly moving it along for McGivry. McGivry sending it cross ice. It's Hosford working his way into the zone. Shoots it by Johnson. Freed back for Hosford. To the blue line it goes. Waiting, Kelly moves to the slot, he shoots. And a nice save made by Allward. Still in the Dieppe zone. Eagles with possession behind the net. Levac moving around, trying to evade Sear. He emerges out of his net and quickly moves up towards the Riverview end. Working up, he goes into the corner. Gets pressure and is shoved off, and now they pin the puck up right next to our corner camera. Sear and Kelly are there. Now it goes behind the net. There's a Bear trying to angle out his man on the far wall. They bring it back, still in the zone, kept in by Roy. Here's a Bear waiting to try to get a shot on before it's sent out of the zone by the Kings. Shot, and this will wrap around the net. of Allward as they try to make their way outside the zone. Downey trying to put it in. Now it's taken by Levesque as he works his way in. There's a shot saved by McCarthy, and it goes way high up in the air. Lopeman tried to deflect it. Yep, coming back with it. Roy tried to get a backhander off it. Now moves its way into the corner. McDonald rimming it across the board, and this will go all the way down the ice. Eagles now recouping. Sebastien Roy trying to make his way through the middle. It's backhanded in. It'll go behind the net of Lancaster. Lopeman to McDonald. McDonald waiting as he had two Dieppe players hounding him. It'll go around and make its way past court. Shooting it in, Michael Leblanc. Going back behind the net. McDonald hits the back of his net. Now it's Underhill. Moving it back to McDonald. Waiting, then he chucks it back over, and this one will get past court, and this one will most likely go for what is going to be called an icing. Quickly, Dieppe within the offensive zone before it's rimmed along the boards and taken out by the Kings. Working his way to the middle, McGivry. McGivry walking in, waits and shoots and tried to pick the top corner. Instead, got the glove of Patrick Allward. Roy making a pass up, Duguay. Shooting it in. This one will go near the corner before Lancaster brings it out. Levesque shooting in, a bouncing puck turned away by the pad of McCarthy. Long pass up, Hosford trying to move his way by Levesque. It's loose, and now Levesque is trying to poke it up and get it by Hosford. Eric Johnson sending it across for Legacy. Legacy into the zone. He gets poked behind his back, and McGivry now goes back the other way. He has Hosford with him. In on Levesque, working in, and Levesque going down on one knee to block the shot. Eric Johnson has a bit of room. He's going to use it, working into the zone. Eric Johnson dropped pass and tried to get that one over for Babin. Now it's a cross-ice pass. That was from Graves that tried to get that one over for Sear. Dieppe in the defensive zone. Alex Leblanc rimming it around. There's Downey. From off the bench, looks towards the blue line. McDonald waits, goes to the middle, a save from Allward, and the rebound is moved into the corner where Sear and an Eagle battle for it. That looked to have hit the top of the glass and stays in play. Sent to the middle. Downey shoots. A save made by Allward again. Moving back, McDonald waits and makes a pass to the middle for Sear. He leaves one off successfully for McClary. Backhanded to Comier. Had lost it. Delayed offside. Made sure Lancaster didn't get a touch on it, and a shot all the way on McCarthy. This negates the icing. Marcus Hebert in the offensive zone alone. And that one stripped by Kelly. Now back in the corner for the Kings. But back behind the net, Kelly. Now sent behind Nicolas Ebel, trying to find it on his backhand. It's loose in between his feet. Now taken away from Kelly. Lancaster still can't break out of the zone easily. They go back into the corner with it. Shot along the wall. It'll go to McCarley. He'll get angled out, and a shot again that's missed wide. Dieppe taking a lot of time so far in the offensive zone. LeBlanc waiting and sending it across. Nicolas Hebert trying to get into the zone. He was stripped of the puck by Kelly. Kelly skating up on Hebert. He's going to shoot. Scores! Brady Kelly had made his way all the way from his defensive zone to his blue line and went into the offensive zone, just took a shot and gets past Allward. And Lancaster is now up 4-1. They score the first goal in this third period. That one's going to be Brady Kelly. We'll see if there's any of the assists coming with it. They work in. Another shot on Allward. He makes the save. Behind the net. It's rimmed along the boards. Andrews. Back along the wall. It'll go up to the blue line. Shot back in. The save, McNutt. And then the rebound is cleared out by the defense, Levac. Go back with it, Kelly. Just recently scoring a goal. It's flipped up court. Go back to the Dieppe blue line. That pass stopped by Loman and went in between his legs. Working back up with Nutt with a shot. That's stopped by Allward and left out for Daigle. He'll bank it off the boards. Legacy will leave it for him. Tristan Daigle slapping a puck from the outside of the blue line. That'll hit the boards. He has some power behind the slap shot. He scored one earlier from an absolute howitzer in the game against Tracadie. Hosford tried to work his way in, barely gaining possession. Now it's blocked back in by Graves at the blue line. Going out to center. It's taken back by McNutt and sent over to Graves. Babin stepping in on McNutt. Along the right, tried to cut to the middle, and there's Graves to upend him. Hosford tangled up with Michael Leblanc. It goes off the boards and back for Graves. Sends it back to his D-man, Kelly. And Hosford receives the give and go. Stepping in, Hosford with the shot saved by the pad of Allward. Rebound is taken behind the net. Leblanc shooting up. This will just barely stay in the zone with the backhand of Underhill. Behind the net, Hosford again. That had gone in between the feet of Graves, trying to make a nice move. He blocks the first clearing attempt. Second one right to the tape of Johnson. Eric Johnson stepping in on Downey. Trying to leave that off. And the Kings are going to go the other way, and Graves accidentally ices it. That'll leave a whistle. And the last Lancaster goal, it's Brady Kelly scoring at 9:30. That one unassisted. Place will go right in front of McDonald. We got a penalty coming up. This looks like it's going to go against. I'm not sure. It's when Dieppe had touched it up, but Allward was on the way to the bench. And this will go against Marcus Ibal. And it looks like there, Marcus Ibal with kind of a trip off the draw. He goes to the box for Dieppe. And it's now a Lancaster man advantage. Quickly setting it up. McNutt going up with speed, trying to get past Roy. McNutt cutting in, and Roy upends him, and it's now in the center. Kelly, pass across. Now moving in, Downey stepping in, trying to get a shot off, had lost the puck, and Roy takes a bit of his time and will launch it down right next to McCarthy in the net of Lancaster. Now behind the net, working his way up is McNutt, making a nice pass off to Lopman as the Kings exit their zone. Andrews left it off. Now it's Kelly trying to break his way in. He has the latest goal in this one. Now Duguay stepping up on a one-on-one. Duguay shooting and just missing the net. Not by much. It rebounded right back in front of the weird bounce off the stanchion. Another shot from Daigle. That's caught by McCarthy. Still just under a minute of the Lancaster penalty. I'd like to thank the Kern. We got about 60 watching along on this Saturday night. Not only is there QMJHL playoffs, there's some U18C playoffs, arguably about the same amount of talent. And here comes Lancaster working in. It's Graves. Going in across the net, now moves his way into the corner. McGivry. Going across the blue line. Underhill winding up with a shot. That's a save from Allward. Lancaster doing a good job so far on this power play, staying in the zone. At least in the past couple seconds, Dieppe has done a very good job killing the penalty in the first minute. Lancaster was barely inside the zone, and here they go again. McGivry working his way past Babin. 2-on-2. McGivry, the shot turned away by Allward. Another try that went right through the crease. There's another shot deflected. The shot from McDonald. Deflection in front from Hosford. Penalty now expired. There's a shot from McDonald again that just misses the net. This one unable to be kept in by Underhill, and will be going back into the end of the Kings. This one around the wall, and it'll go over to Hosford. Trying to flip it out. Babin unable to keep it in the offensive zone. Hosford leaving that one off for Graves. Graves stepping in, going around the net and shooting just through the crease. Kings just getting some new men on. Kelly going back to McNutt. McNutt through the middle for Graves, who runs into Hosford, and Dieppe will ice it. The face-off going to go to the left of Allward. Refs talking at the bench of the Kings. It's shot and cleared. Outside the zone, Marcus Aberable stepping along just past the red line. Shot and it's left back in the corner by McCarthy. They go crashing up against the boards before it's turned across. Over. That one was over for McClear in the opposite side. McNutt swerving around, makes a nice saucer pass and try to get that to Downey. Intercepted. Daigle winds up with a slap shot, and it's saved by McCarthy. At the blue line, Liveg with a shot that had just caromed over the left post. Daigle with a chance. His changeup will be blocked out in front by McNutt. McNutt in the corner. We got less than 4 minutes left. Unable to be kept in at the line by Daigle. Daigle waits, shoots it in. It'll go back for the Kings. Flipped out, it'll go to Downey. Downey across the red line. Now sent into the middle. Trying to work in with Sear, and he was poke checked off by Johnson. It's going to go off the board. This one out of the reach of Cormier, so it's going to go back to McNutt of the Kings. His little frip is taken in by Johnson with a shot that just missed the net. Kept back in by Les Aigles. Johnson trying to turn around in the corner. Jukes out Kelly. Kelly blowing a tire. Johnson still with it. Moves it back towards the blue line. Levesque. He's going to try a shot and attempted deflection. And a nice save made by McCarthy. And we'll have a timeout taken by the Eagles. Stay tuned for the last couple minutes of the Eagles and the Kings live on Maritime Stream Team. Here we go. This will start quickly off the draw. Dieppe with an empty net. They are icing 6 men on the ice. Working backhand shot, saved by McCarthy with a weird deflection out in front. Off the draw, taken out by Lancaster, but moving back, still with it is Levesque. He sends it across, it's deflected in by Aigles, but shot back into the Dieppe zone. Moving back with it is Eric Levesque. Passing across, Daigle. Moving in, ices it. Linesman able to get out of the way. It goes to McDonald out in the corner. He crashes up, still loose behind the net. A couple players go following. It's now taken by Underhill. Underhill working up, trying to shoot it. Again, stopped by Levesque. He'll go off the boards or for Roy. Trying to send that one over to Duguay. It's Marcus Aigles boarding in, and the shot off the side of the net. Sent back out in front. Aigles with another try, and it's sent again over the net and wide. Daigle pinching in to keep it. Now trying to move that out in front. It goes across. This one, McGivry may have a stick on it. McGivry, he's going to try for the empty net, and he misses, and it's an icing. Again, Dieppe maintaining possession off the draw. Leo bouncing up into the corner. Kelly moving it around. Jiggy sent down, looking at it front, trying to get a one-timer. Shot to the empty net. This one just as wide. It looked good going the whole way down. And now Lancaster will take a timeout. Again, we'll be back in a couple seconds. Last 2 minutes of this game, Dieppe applying tons of pressure. And just over a minute left. Dieppe still down by 3 goals. Goes into the corner. Marcus Aigles applying some pressure. Here's Jiggy trying to come in and steal the puck. Stopped it at the blue line by Daigle. Kelly fanning on the clear. Jiggy still roaming around. Went to the blue line. Levesque back down for Jiggy. Misplayed. Sent back down by McNutt. It hits off, I believe that's Levesque. Levesque back for Daigle at his own blue line. Goes across. Almost too many men. A good heads-up play by Babin, who was coming off the bench to wait to touch the puck. Working back in is Eric Johnson. Clearing it in and behind the net. It's Kelly moving it along to the opposite corner. We get less than 20 seconds left to go. Shot out by the Kings. And again, this one's going to be charged with an icing with just 10 seconds left to go in this game. I'd like to remind you, before the player of the game ceremonies and the end buzzer, our last game of the day, it's Strathclyde and Tri-County. Here, our last game of day 2 before it all intensifies tomorrow. The semifinals will take place, and we'll see live on who exactly it is. Daigle and Andrews in a bit of a tussle. Daigle will launch the stick of Andrews down the ice, and Lancaster gets the victory, 4-1. It's a Lancaster W, and they will go 2-1. Dieppe finishes 1-1-1, and Tri-County's 2-0. So I believe that'll set Tri-County and still a bit of yapping after this game. But that'll get Lancaster in the playoffs automatically. It all depends on how Tri-County does tonight. If they take home a win, it'll be Tri-County in the first seed, Lancaster in the second. And if Tri-County loses, we'll have to go through some tiebreakers. But regardless, Lancaster is into the semis. Dieppe is unfortunately eliminated.
MVP for Dieppe, number 15, Ryan Hosper. Oh, sorry. For Dieppe, number 15, Alex LeBlanc. Lancaster MVP, number 30, Jake McCarthy. Sorry, Ryan. Maybe next game.